Hello, my friends, and welcome. My name is Kate in the Nest, and I'm so thankful for you joining me today. I've had a little rest, and I explained before I went that I was feeling a little bit busy. And when we get a little bit busy, sometimes our creativity goes a little to the bottom of the pile. And I just felt that I needed just some little time out, not from making, but from running from one thing to another. The bazaar is nearly packed up. Thank you again to all of you who ended up sharing in the treasures. I've had beautiful comments and appreciation. So for me, that makes it worthwhile. My whole intention was to share what I have with you, and many of you I know have told me that you won't get to India. I count it a privilege. So I've got still lots left, but we're going to take a little break from that, get my front room and Sophia the sofa back into looking like a front room for family, because we're just a couple of days before Christmas, and I'm really getting in the festive mood. And don't faint. There's something about my nails that you will have never seen. It's just a little private joke if you've been with me for a little while. So what's today about? Other than welcoming you back and saying I'm feeling great and watch out world, here I come again. I've done lots and lots of stitching since I filmed last, but I've got a little thing to show you, but I've also got some happy mail, and I'm officially going to call it Joy Mail after my dear friend who has given me boxes and boxes, and Amal, you know that's you. So that idea of Joy Mail, one of the I've ordered, one is a gift, one is a Christmas present. So stay with me. I'm going to start in the garden because you know how much we all love flowers. I think that unites slow stitches, and I love, you haven't seen this one for a while, I've just been adding a few little bits to that. This is a it's got a pouch with a, what is that in there? Oh, now I've got a blowfly. That's very Australian. Oh, that was at the start of a shrine, which is a funny shape. So let's take that out of there. But this is just a little project bag that I carry around. Okay, so we're going to talk flowers. On Instagram, I came across the amazing photos by this lady, and I think her name is Manon, the first name. She's from the Netherlands, and please excuse me because I love hearing other languages, but I can't do accents, and I just, really it's insulting. So this is the card that came with the order. And she's a photographer and artist. And the most amazing thing is that she takes photos of flowers that she grows. Now, we all love a garden, and there's just something about the way she photographs that inspires me. And I am inspired to do bigger works like this in my style, but using this idea of incredibly beautiful flowers. So on the back of that, I bought myself a Christmas present, and I've opened it already because I can't wait now. I'm too impatient as I've got older. It happens to be called the Flower Bible, and the cover itself is gorgeous, and it's padded, so it's a fabric cover, and from the very moment you open it, it is filled with the most glorious photos. Now, I'm not going to show you all of them, and it's literally just arrived today, so I haven't had the chance to earmark particular flowers or pages, but look at this. I'm going to talk more about this in my next newsletter, which will come out. I'm thinking around January, maybe Friday the 2nd, sometime like that. So I can do more about it. But look at that, my friends. So as we thread paint, I actually thought, you know me, I haven't done much research, and I've got beautiful flower books. So that's a goal in 2026 to get these out, all my beautiful books, and actually just look at the colorings. There's a look at that for poppies. Anyway, so that is a beautiful book called the Flower Bible. It's on her website. I think I got it, and that's the name of the website. So just a quick little moment about that. Let's mix things up. So Joy Mail, and we talk often about the generosity. Oh, I shouldn't see, I rushed in. How are you? Are you well? And how's your sense of busyness going? We've talked often about this community. I have a giant package here of Joy Mail from the lovely Mary Walker. Now, Mary is on Instagram. She is a maker, was a teacher and still teaches in a different context, and she makes the most beautiful upcycled shirts and garments out of traditional vintage linens. And she's also been to Japan, and I'm covering addresses with that, if you're wondering. But Mary and I shouldn't say but, Mary and I did Fleur Woods' course last year, the 5-day at Green Door, and she's coming back next year. She did say to me, sent me a message and said, Kate, I've got a lot of scraps from making my shirts. Would you at all be interested in them? So I just said yes, because I just thought, wow, how someone's so lovely. So here we are. There we are. This is Mary's story, and these are the sorts of garments that she makes. She has a website and sells them, and I know she was saying they were a perfect Christmas present. So good on you, Mary. Hopefully these will be of some use to you. Looking forward to catching up next year. So these shirts are often tablecloths, and as I said, she's an incredible maker. And let's just feast our eyes on what's in here. So they're the little bits that haven't actually made it. Oh, well, in fact, she's stitched there, and that's a trim. So this is going to be a treasure trove. Oh my gosh, look at these. So she's a wonderful oppie shopper. That's cross stitch in beautiful colours. She knows my work from seeing me do it. But look, everything. I don't know why I always say but on here. Absolutely gorgeous vintage. You know where these are going? In my work, as well as to my workshops this year. Now I've just announced, so exciting, I'm coming to Perth. And that has been a little while in coming. In March, the 2nd of March through to Friday, the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does that sound right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. For workshops. I'm supposed to have them right up on my website now. I got a little bit waylaid with Joy Mail and tidying up the bazaar and feeling fresh and ready, like it's a Monday here, and it's the Monday before Christmas, and it's time to celebrate, and celebrating for me is playing. So there you are, you've got the idea. Thank you so much, Mary. It's always wonderful to receive, and I particularly am excited. So that's been a big vintage tablecloth, and I use these little motifs often in my work and for workshops. So there we are. There's Mary. I'll write that down in the comments as well. So that is Joy Mail. I just found one of my bracelets in bin. That's not good. Can you tell I'm excited? Thank you for your care. I know many of you have said you could hear the tiredness. I can't even remember when that was. Was it the first week of December? And now we're nearly at the end. Who knows? Okay, so that was that. I've been talking to you a lot about waiting for this book that I ordered when I was in India, and it took a long time to come. So this is just going to be a sneak preview, but I have been flicking through this book every day. And sometimes when you just need inspiration again without actually making. So the designs in this book are, these are the buildings that we saw. Just incredible designs. Look at that, roses. And I've started sketching, and anyway, I'll talk more about in my newsletter as well, about some things I've discovered and learnt about floral patterns and things. So books, I always find an incredible inspiration, and this is the actual book, Floral Patterns of India, which came highly recommended to me. I've got a favorite page, but it's not jumping up. But look at that, just feast. Anyway, okay, so that's Joy Mail. Now, it is the season of joy, and not a how do I say this? Actually, I won't go there. Our hearts in Australia have been less than joyful by something that happened a week ago. But the message that stays with us is that light beats darkness. So light and giving, and this season of treasuring each other more than anything is what I want to do, and that's why I'm back on now. You mightn't get a video Christmas Day, but I'm really going to try and be there because some of us don't have families and busy lives, and I know that for some of you this season is poised with sadness. And I do think of Kelly Makrens right now, who has lost her mum. She's the only child. Her mum has been her inspiration and is her inspiration, but she's passed from this world. So I'm making this and sharing this with you. Now, friends in our Stitchy community are incredible, and I am lucky enough to know and call a friend the sweet Missy from Missy Made This. So long story, this was dropped to me today. Thank you so much, Missy. Missy's gone away on holidays, and I'll link it. Missy made a video about making these making presents out of tote bags for her children's teachers, and I loved them, and little did I know that Missy had made one for me. Look at this image, Solitude, and I tell you, I just absolutely adore it. And it is done with a t-shirt transfer. I tried once with an embroidery pattern, and it wasn't quite what I needed, but for this, it couldn't be any more perfect. So this is Missy's Christmas present to me, for which I'm very grateful and thankful. It came with many, many things inside, which I have taken out. because I like to savor them. And I'm going to show you two things. Might be three. Missy went to the States. She went to Texas earlier in the year, and she has if you don't follow Missy, you need to. She has a beautiful set of videos about her adventures, and she adores, as we all do, vintage American quilts. Is this the Dresden plate? I hope I haven't called it the wrong name, but it is absolutely divine, absolutely divine. Holes, stains, worn out. Where was that bit that I just saw? All the things that we absolutely love. Look at that. And see, that's my sense of, I just absolutely adore that little bit and would feature that on something. So priceless to me, absolutely priceless. So I wanted to show you that. And then this is a dream. And I was talking to my husband and to others, and I think I said it to you a week or so ago about quilting. How in all cultures, people have made quilts to keep us warm and snugly. And I haven't got one of my Indian bits here with me right now, but you've seen a lot of that, and the canthering, and this is a pattern that I absolutely adore. So Missy has sacrificed some of this, and I am just so thankful. Those beautiful greens. Those of you who have been for a while, look how much I love green now. And look at that combination. Oh, it goes with my ring. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That leads me to, you've seen, see, they just pop around my desk all the time. This piece I got from Beck. So I have some Missy pieces and Beck. And the last piece of work that you actually saw me doing was a Beck needle kit based on a piece of quilting. Now, suffice to say, when I rest and have a little time out, funny things happen. So what was Beck's, have I still got that? Yeah. This was how it came in from Beck from Sobe at Newcastle. That's the container it came in, and it was called number 6 needle book. I've used Beck's needle book kit to make something different. I think that's allowed because I started to turn it into a needle book, and it's become a pocket pouch. So I thought I'd take you through where I'm up to on that, talk you through its usefulness, and I've been using it. So if you imagine, this is under here was the original piece of cream quilting, and you might remember it was very, very white. So these are the bits. This was a feature piece on it, and the rest was white, as you can see under here. This bit was circular. So what I've done is oh, here we are. I've wanted to honor it, but at the same time, I couldn't keep it white and this color. So I've embellished. I'm so happy. So the first cover has become quite a deep pocket, and that can, contain my little bits and pieces that I might want to stitch with. I'm just putting Mary's things in here. Here's a little motif. Oh, that could go nicely actually on the piece. So that's a nice accessible pocket. In here, will make you laugh. This is a pocket that I made for the needlebook I did with Beck at her course in February, but I pulled it out. I meant to put this stitching at the front, but I did notice that I had this willy wagtail, like a little postage stamp in the corner. So I've kept it this side out, and I will embellish the body of that little bird eventually. In the kit, there was this piece of cross stitch from a tablecloth or a tray cloth. I've used that. This is from my mini makes, one of those little tiny bits and pieces that I made for another piece with a bit of vintage tape measure. So that's gone at the front, and it had this little bit of Angora blanket. So it was a tag is what it was. And I do have to say, no matter how many pin cushions I've got, I'm a bit of a stabber. If I'm working on something else, I like to just put a pin into something so I don't lose it, but I'm not patient enough and always, well, I'm try, but to put it where it belongs. So I've left that up there. Sometimes needles, if they're on the outside, stick in to other bits in a bigger pouch, project pouch. So I've got this opportunity here for a hidden needle so that when I lose them, I go, oh, that's there. And this is the beautiful woolen felt that came as part of the needle book kit. So I just added on. It's not finished yet. I might trim that off and use that somewhere else, but for the moment it's there. Then that Suffolk puff was with that, and then these came with the kit or a different one of Beck's kits, but I put it there like a flower. So the idea is we have flower to flower, we've got a feature rose, these are counting as flowers, we've got quirky tape measure, which isn't bad. I don't care these days whether it's centimeters or inches. It's just handy to have something that you can multiply out. And we've got a little birdie there. I haven't stitched very much at the moment other than just putting them down. On the, where will I go now? This one's a bit complicated. On the other side, she was looking pretty plain. So yesterday I got a bit carried away, and I had this bit of excess blanket that I didn't want to cut off. So I made this into a flap with a bit of sari silk in a bow, and this quirky badge was a gift from Annika at the Open Studio. She'd been to a local market, and there was a lady just putting all her random bits together into a plastic box, and Annika bought it. See, it's a sharing community, and we had lucky dips, so I found that I like it. It's the Royal Agricultural Society New South Wales, which is the state that I live in, and it's a 1977 lady member. So it's not the perfect colour. I put that over the top of a little lotus flower leaf. This is vintage fabric that I think came from Beck. It's off a cushion, and if it didn't come from Beck, I got it from Mary McDonald on Facebook. This is a snippet from another work. You know how I love that terry toweling piece or chenille, and it's actually on another piece of Beck's. It's a scrap of quilting. Because I didn't, this was round, I loved it, the original piecing, but it was too white. So I have harvested the little piece of needlepoint that was in the kit and put that there. The colouring just all tones in. This is a little tiny bit of vintage fabric that I think you saw me get, and of course I was sewing it down. Then I thought, well, why don't I leave the top open, and that can be a treasure pocket. Put something in there as I do, and I actually am enjoying the fact that I sort of hid this little bit down here, and now I'm actually making a skirt out of it. So just while I ask you how you're going and what are you making and give you a break, let's actually do a stitch. So in a way, I'm hemming the curtain that already had a hem on it with obvious stitching. On this piece, I've not used as much pink. I feel it matches my bracelets and bangles, which are growing daily. And I've got to finish the Christmas tree off. I thought I was done, but I'm not. And I might put some bangles on it as well. That's what the red ones are for, making me think of Christmas. Okay, so a little running stitch around there. Will we keep it going around the side? Now, of course, when you make, you can do it in any order that you like. And I suppose I still have used the principle of a cover and then things in, but it's a pocket pouch. My daughter used to have those tiny little dolls. I wish we kept them, called Polly Pockets. So that comes into my mind when I say a pocket pouch, because it's a pouch. It's a utility, didn't I call it this one time? A utility pouch, meaning it's a pouch with purpose, and it's to, you know, have the same role as a needlebook, which I still love, love, love. But as I said, I was just feeling a little bit quirky. So let's go up there. And I've got this lovely bright orange. Shall we go there and make a flower? No, I think we'll go over there. So if I've got thread left, I just travel along. And let's go in here. Let's make it like a lazy daisy flower. Not too big, because we don't want to obscure the tape measure. There's one. Two. 3. I'm talking about the petals. I've done so much stitching on my bigger piece, which I might call Butterflies Are Free. But I thought I'd come back with this smaller piece, because maybe it gives you some ideas of what to do when all the big stuff is finished and you want to do a small project. Now, it didn't have to come all the way through there, and in fact, I shouldn't. I'll do something else over the top. Okay, so just a little embellishment to keep the garden growing. Okay, so what have I got in here? I've got my wools and cottons, and there is plenty big enough, and whole mixture there. And I love that I feel the blanket and I can do it up, because sometimes things do fall down. Okay, so that's an envelope, sort of on the back side, but I love it so much that it's multi-purpose. So I'll go dip, dip, dip in there. Back to the front. I've told you that's a pocket. This is a pocket. I haven't got my little scissors but my little scissors, my gold ones, will go down in there. So pop up. I'm just realizing it could sort of, yeah, it can sit up. But now to the fun and games. Inside here, I'm working on 2 other little bits. This is a silk pouch that I brought home from India, and I love the color. It's mustard, and this is the result of me experimenting. First of all, I thought I will put a pin cushion on the outside before I came up with this idea. But I do like what I've done is that I've sort of made a separate standalone pocket bag pouch thing. This was a pink nest base that I had. I showed you last time. I had this from, was this in Beck's kit? It was an embroidery, and I've taken the crocheted edge. The proportion is a little bit big. In hindsight, I probably would have gone down a little bit, but I do like putting needles and pins into blanket, so it actually gives me plenty of space to put more things in. And then on top of it, I use the green wool felt to do a heart, and you can see I've just randomly stitched around there. I'll probably do more stitching. I might add, I don't want it to look like a smiley face, but I could add things in there. So say I've got my big quilt out and I don't need all those other things, I can just pop this beside me, boom, 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 and I could have a particular thread in there, or like a you know, a universal ecru one or smaller. Okay, so that's my quirky little pincushion bag, and yes, there's still opportunities on the back for that. So that goes in there. Then I found that I had this little I've shown you this before, and I've got more of them. These are tiny little zipper pouches that I get given or just show up in my house at different places. So I decided it actually wasn't too bad, but it was batik and too wrong color. But see, the brown tones actually go with Beck's colors, and I know she does, you know, love the use of brown in a quilt with her other colors, so I trust what she says. So I like that zipper that I didn't have to put it in, and I thought similarly to this, sometimes you just want to pop something into your purse. If I've got my big quilt or something little, what about the idea of putting one of these base cottons in there, zipping it up, and having a little bit of blanket and a pretty pattern. So that's what I've done. It's not complete. My first time with rickrack braid, and of course I didn't do it just like running stitch. I want to make crosses out of it. I ran out, so I've got an idea for that. So yes, it looks messy. My biggest thing at the moment, I want to get rid of that original color showing. And there's all sorts of ways that we could do that. Can I think of one of them right now? That's the wrong sort of colours. Everything is just truly stacked on top of each other. Oh, that's not bad. That would cover up the big crack. But somehow I want to, or I could even just satin stitch and cover it up. Not sure, but quirky, I like it. And as I said, it's in that middle pocket, so I can have that in there and that in there, treasures and bits and pieces in there, wools at the back, needle threader, no, crochet hook won't fit. I think you get the idea. I love it in my hands, and I've said this before, and Beck always says it. Beck measures the feeling of a needlebook by how thick it feels in your hands. So similarly, this is like a side-on needlebook, isn't it? The more I look at that goes. Now I wonder, actually, how about, that could be it. I feel like a frilly, this is a frilly piece. So let's get a pin out. Here's an idea. That's a little braid that I brought back from India there. Love it. Gather that up. And it could also even come out over the front. Yes. And then, yep, I think so. So, work in progress. I was just thinking on my little baby zipper pouch. These ones are very special, but there's nothing to stop. Something like that. I'm using these on my big quilt, so I won't put, but an idea of something like that. That's pretty, isn't it? And it could go. So the idea for me is every piece I touch brings me joy. And I override that's not neat, that's not perfect with, is it joyful? Does it make me smile? Do my fingers feel happy? So they do. And that's the answer. So I'm wishing that for you as well right now. I hope you've enjoyed this little time with me. I was missing you, and that was very much the motivation of telling you I'm okay, I'm back, I've been blessed. The givingness of this community is incredible. I've got other things. I'm not showing them all, but I hope you feel just as special. Let's see if we can have a little pattern and Missy, a bit of Missy, and this other beautiful flower book. Oh gosh, yeah, that's right, the memory, the battery was just showing. So there you are. That's a little bit of Kate's nest. Not tidy, but happy. And as I said, thank you for watching with me. And I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.